dear Wacho. She was like, dear Wacho Annie.
Do you think about me when you had a long day? Do you think about me when you don't get your way? Can you tell me what it is or tell me what it ain't? Can you go with...
Hey guys, it's not the baddie in the building. I said it's not the baddie in the building right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we have a requested video, judging from the title, about how you know, let that African mother allow you to bring your girlfriend or your boyfriend home, because it's not that hard. So let's get into the video. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys what type of a person she was, and how I grew up, you know. So my mom is, I don't know if I should say is or was, but she was a person that didn't tolerate BS. Like, when I say BS, I mean nothing to do with boys, nothing. Like, if I have friends, it was like, it was hard for me to even bring them up. If I had a guy friend, it was hard for me to even bring them up. Like, it was hard for me to even say, oh, so my friend so and so, he did this. I mean, I could say it when I went to a mixed school, it was okay. But so she was a person who didn't tolerate any kind of stuff with like anything to do with boys. But she was getting better over the years. Like, she's getting kind of better, but we never ever talked about, you know, the typical strict African mom, Zimbabwean African mom. I'm gonna say African mom because I've had a conversation with a few Africans and they told me it was like that. So we never, oof, mention a boy. What did you have a boy? What? And I remember there's a time when I was really young, like when I was 13, my grandfather was like, friends with a boy? On what ground? On what ground? And I went to a mixed school, so you know, it was, just put it all together, my family is strict, very, very strict. So but my mom and I were getting a little closer before I went to college, and even when I was not in college, we were getting closer than we were before, and it was getting better. So we had talked about boys. Like, she talked about boys mocking me and stuff like that, like boys, you know, like just mocking me. But she had never said go ahead and have a boyfriend, you know. But the way she was playing with me, the way she was mocking me, it made me feel like, okay, it's fine. And I made a vow to myself. I said I was not gonna be secretive. I was not gonna hide anything from my mom. I was not, you know, I was just gonna come clean, you know. Obviously not overdo it, but just make sure my mom knows. And she didn't like it when I kept stuff from her, and then she found out and stuff like that, you know. She didn't really like that. What am I doing? You know what, I'll be back after this eyebrow. Yeah, so I had made a promise that I was not going to be secretive about anything. I was not going to hide anything from my mom. But we were close, but she still had that mom role. Like, my mom and I are close, but we're not close like other people. We're not close like other mother and daughters where they kind of friends and stuff. We're not like that. We just mom and daughter, really, really close. That's it. That's it. So yeah, I said I was not gonna lie to her. I was not gonna hide. I didn't say I was not gonna lie. I said I was not gonna hide anything from my mom. But you know, obviously I had to control it. You know, you don't have to tell her everything, but I was not gonna hide. So when I started, no. When I started talking to Michael, like just talking, I was like, you know, I had told myself I wanted to be with a person. I didn't want to have a trial and error. I didn't want to try out something and then it doesn't work out, and then I told myself that, God, you know, whatever person you give me, maybe the person that's worth me taking home, maybe the last one. I just didn't want trials and errors, you know, whatever that is. Like, I just don't want that no more. I was tired of that. So yeah. And then I had been praying for a while. I had been praying for a long time for him since, like, I started school in August. Since like June, before I even went to school, I just been praying like, God, I want him to look like this. I want him like this, like this. God, I want him to look like this. I want him like this, like this, like this. So number one, to those who are asking me, number one, the most important thing is to ask God. And to ask God when you know what you want. Don't ask God like, God, I just want a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, when you don't know what exactly you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're gonna ask for, make sure that's really what you want and you know what you want. Like I was saying, you need to pray about it. You need to give it to God, because we don't always make the best decisions for ourselves. So that's what I did, and I don't know who told me that. I don't know who taught me how to pray for. I think it was my grandmother, but I did. And how we met, it's not really like a story. It's just like a situation. Yeah, that's how I can put it. Like, it's a situation. So I'm gonna skip that part. I'm not gonna tell you guys that story because it's not a story, basically. So when we got together, I was like, you know, I have to see, because you don't just know. Yes, you prayed, but even when we pray, God speaks to us and we ignore the signs and whatever. So I mean, I had been dodging a lot of bullets, I know that for sure, but I had to make sure this was the person that, you know, that I really took what God was saying, what God was telling me. I had to make sure. So I had to take it slow, obviously, and stuff like that. And I had to see, because he had to do something for me to feel like, okay, this is something had to be done. Like, it didn't have to be anything major, like a gift. No. It's little things like the way a person acts. So, and also I knew for sure my mom was picky. I knew for sure my mom was just hard to please, you know, on top of her just being strict and not trying to hear about boys. I knew she was like really picky and strict and stuff like that. So that was kind of hard. It was kind of hard. But I knew to myself, I knew I'd made the right decision, you know. But I was thinking, like, I made the right decision to myself. Is this the right decision according to my family? Because if at this age, if your parents don't support whatever it is, it just cannot happen. But 3 weeks into the relationship, he was like, it was Thanksgiving, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but I think I was talking about my family back home and how I miss my family and stuff like that. And then he was like, you can come to my house for Thanksgiving. You can come and be with my family. I was like, are you serious? Like, I'd never been taken home before, basically. So it was kind of like, what? Me? He was like, yeah, I mean, why not? But bear in mind, at this point in time, he's just talking and he's in his feelings. He's just speaking. He's just talking. He didn't even tell his parents that I was coming home. He didn't tell nobody, you know. And he had me all excited. Like, I was so excited. I remember I called my friends, like 3 of my friends, 2 friends and 1 cousin, and I was like, oh, this is what happened. Like, I'm gonna spend Thanksgiving. And that was my first Thanksgiving in America. So, I mean, first Thanksgiving at all, because we don't do Thanksgiving. So I was like, ooh, you know, And then the day we were supposed to leave, that's when he called his grandmother. He was like, oh, I'm bringing my friend home. And then, so this whole time I thought, because he told me like 5 days before that, I want to take you home. And I was thinking, like, you know, his parents know, because the way he's so sure and the way we've been talking about it, like, his parents know somebody's coming home, but they didn't. And I had already packed, I'd already told my friends. But then, remember I said...
Wrong.
He's lying.
She's a liar.
What did you say when you walked in here? You said... Anyways, can I continue?
No, stop lying on my
Wait,
name.
what did I say? What did I say?
I didn't say it like they know how you were coming.
Yes, you did. You were like, you're going home, and I really thought they knew, but they didn't. So bye. So this whole time I'm thinking, you know, like they know. Ugh, you confused me now. I don't even know what I was saying. But the day we were, and I had told my friend, oh yeah, this is what I was saying. Bear in mind, I said I was gonna have my college years where I speak to my mama but almost everything that she knows, and I'm open. But for this one I really could not, because my stepdad had said you cannot have a boyfriend until you're in your sophomore year. So like your freshman year was just my freshman year was just supposed to be me proving myself that I can do you know. I wasn't supposed to be in a relationship my first year. So but I was like screw that. Whenever it comes, honestly, that's really like, I didn't rush it, but I was like, whenever it comes. So I said I was gonna be honest and I was gonna tell my mom, but this one I didn't tell her because I didn't want her feeling like you just started college and now you're going home with a boy type of thing. So I was just like, hey mom, I'm going home for Thanksgiving. I'm going to my friend's house for Thanksgiving. And then of course she was gonna ask what friend it is. So I told her, oh, it's India, one of my friends. I told her that it was one of my girlfriends. I didn't tell her it was a boy. So she pretty much, she knew I was somewhere else for Thanksgiving, but she knew where I was exactly, but she didn't know who I was with. Mom, I hope you're not watching this. So that happened, and then I went to his house. First time I was so nervous, and everyone around me was telling me that everything was happening quick, like too soon, like everything was just happening too soon. And his friend made me so nervous because it was right before his grandma came, and then his friend was like, he said, how long have y'all been together? I was like, 3 weeks. He was like, what? That's kind of too soon. But I mean, to his family, he had been in college for like 3 months, so to them it kind of felt like they have known each other for 3 months basically. But no. I mean, we kind of had, that's another story. I'm no storyteller.
Like, that's another story. I'm no storyteller.
We kind of had known each other, kind of, but whatever. So his friend was like, ooh, that's too soon. I was like, dang. And then I met his family. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. Do I have a booger on my nose? I'm sorry, but I was super nervous. And then it was such a beautiful family. I had a good time. For the first time I really had a good time. But skip, that's not what this video is about. This video is about how I eventually told my mom and how my mom allowed me to bring him home. So after that, after I saw his family and how I saw that, you know, it's a God-fearing family, I can be a part of it, they're welcoming, they like me, you know, after I saw everything, and us going home, like me going to his house, made me see him, like made me see what type of a person he was. And you know, if I really wanted to be with him, because you know, you see people show their character when they're at home. You see the real person when they're at home, because that's where they're from. So I was like, yeah, you know, I kind of like this. So I was like, you know, I was trying to control myself. I really didn't want to be in my feelings too much. I didn't want to overdo it, but I couldn't help it. I was like, dang it, like I'm feeling this boy. So I was like, I have to tell my mom. So I'll try and look for the message. I'll try and look for the messages when I told my mom, because it was a long time ago. It's like almost a year ago. So I was like, Mom, I need to tell you something. I don't know if I said I need to tell you something, but I was like, first I started with my stepdad. I was like, what would you do if I said I had a boyfriend? Then he was like, I don't care. You know, like, you grown, you know what you should be doing. I was like, okay. And then when I did tell him, okay, I have a boyfriend, he's like, I thought we talked about this. I thought you wouldn't do that until, I was like, what the heck? You know, I was like, okay. So I was like, Mom, I kind of need to tell you something. There's this boy that I like. This is how I say it. There's this boy that I like, and thank you. So I was like, there's this boy that I like, and I met his family and they like me or something like that. But I said I met his family this weekend or one weekend. I didn't tell her that it was Thanksgiving. So I was like, I met his family, blah 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 blah, and I kind of like him. So she was like, oh, she was excited weirdly, but I was so scared. I was scared. She was like, oh, what does he look like? Is he a football player? Let me see a picture. I was like, what? So I showed her. Funny enough, I had taken pictures of him that day. So she was like, let's see a picture. So I sent her the picture. I was like, here. She was like, what did she say? I think she put heart eyes, or she said he's not bad. Oh, she said I'll give him an 8 out of 10. And I was like, 8? You told me not to settle for this. She was like, well, yeah, 8 out of 10, but I need to see him first. So she initiated it. She said, I need to see him first so that, you know, and then his character will give us out the 2. I don't know what type of ratio that is, but that's what she said. So she kind of initiated it, you know, but she was saying it more like, when I come that side, I need to see him. Oh, I shouldn't have let this stay for long. But she was like, when I come that side, I need to see him. Basically, that's what she said. Because she was planning on coming. And then, so she ended up not coming. And then we fast forward to, so we were done with that. I mean, she made my little sister rate him and stuff like that. And, I mean, yeah. And then, so he was also kind of into the family basically, because he started talking to my little brother and they used to play games and stuff like that. But you know, the biggest part was him meeting my mom and my grandparents, because those are the people I was worried about. And then it was now in 2019 really, and then one time I was talking to my mom, and then I think my mom said something about him, and we were in the cafe. I was like, oh yeah, he's right here. And I had been teaching him a little bit of Shona. So, and my mom was like, I don't want nobody who's gonna come to me and say hello. I want a baddie mama. If you don't understand that, I think I'm gonna put it down. But that's what my mom said. And then, so I had been teaching him a little Shona. So I gave him the phone and I was like, speak to my mom. So he was like, oh, baddie, Jenu, whatever. And then my mom was like, oh, hi. And then so since my mom loves working out, he started pretending like he really cared. So he started asking my mom, oh, so let me see your muscles. And then they had the conversation. But my mom didn't really like talking to him on the phone. My mom always said, I don't want to talk to him on the phone. I want to see him. That's all she said. So she put the pressure on me. You know, every time I'll be like, he's right here. Let me give him the phone. She's like, no. She always asked about him. She'd be like, no. No, I need to see him. I don't want to be on the phone. Like, I guess it was kind of not part of the tradition. I don't know. I think it's traditionally wrong, culturally wrong to make your boyfriend talk to your mom on the phone for the first time. I don't know. But it was kind of wrong. So she was like, nope. I don't want that. I want to see him. She kept pressing. That's when I said, I don't know how we came up, but we ended up saying we're going to Africa together, we're going to Zimbabwe together. That's you know, we made those plans, and his parents and stuff like that, they were okay with it, surprisingly. And then I told my mom, I was like, he said he wants to come. You want to come home? My mom was like, he's more than welcome, because my mom loves hosting guests, you know. She was like, he's more than welcome. And she just have a habit of inviting anybody home. I was like, yeah, he's more than welcome. He can come anytime. I'll be ready. We'll show him around and stuff like that. He'll have a good time. I was like, okay. But she thought I was just saying, like, she thought, you know, just bullshitting. So she was like, he's more than welcome. Yeah. And then he bought his ticket. Well, he bought his ticket last minute. But this whole time, the whole semester, we're just talking about it. And she didn't think it was serious until he bought his ticket. My mom's like, wait, you guys are serious? Like, you guys are for real that he's coming? I was like, yeah. And this was 2 weeks before. She was like, wait, are you guys just talking, or this boy's really coming home? And I'd already talked to my mom about what type of family he comes from, and, you know. So my mom was like, are you sure his parents allowed him to come? I was like, yes. Like, they paid for the ticket, so yes, they allowed him to come. And then she was like, Aiwa. And then now she didn't say it like that, but whatever she said. And then time went by, and then this boy really was coming. And then even on the day, she was like, wait, this boy's coming. I was like, okay, mom, really? Like, now I'm thinking, are you ready or are you not? Like, do you want this boy to come, or you know? And then fast forward, we got home, and that's how she didn't really care. I mean, of course we had to respect the environment we were in. You know, we didn't do certain stuff, like you don't be hugging up and stuff like that, because you know, cultural reasons. But we had to respect the environment we were in. I mean, I got in trouble like once, but it's okay. And then the biggest part was telling my grandmother, because I was raised, well, partially I was raised by my grandmother for half of my life. What's 18 minus? What's
You could him to.
I'm not 18, I'm 19. Dang. Okay, whatever it is, half of my life I grew up with my grandmother, so she's more like a second mother to me. And she is a part of my life, so she has to be a part of everything that happens and stuff like that. And I mean, why am I saying my grandmother? My grandparents, both of them. But you know, obviously I didn't have to have that conversation with my grandfather. So, and I know my grandfather was gonna love him, because my grandfather just talks too much. Yeah, I love him. But anyway, my grandmother was introduced to him. No, I introduced him to my grandmother as a friend. Well, that's what my mom had done. So my grandmother said it was thought it was a friend. So to her, she was like, until somebody explains to me, because she can't help you. What is an explanation? Because she can't was about chocolate. I'm going to think it's a friend. I need somebody to tell. Dang it, how do you say it? Okay, she was saying, like, let me say it in English first. She was saying, I'm gonna say it's a friend until somebody tells me what he is, you know, like. And she was like, culturally you're supposed to sit down with me. That's not how you do it. You're supposed to sit down with me and you're supposed to tell me who he is. So I was like, fine, go. And you know, it's harder in Shona because it sounds vulgar in Shona. I don't know why, but it sounds so vulgar in Shona to say you've got a boyfriend. So like, go. She was like, yeah, I'm waiting to hit. And then I was like, okay, go. Dear wacho. She was like, dear wacho Annie. And then I was like, Komana Wangu. Like, you know, the Wangu is kinda not coming out. And then she was like, oh, so do you like Nomuda? What the I was like, yes. What kind of question is that? Yes. And then she was like, okay, how did you makasangana say? I was like, and I don't like telling people that story. I don't know why. I feel like it was dramatic. That's how I can say it. It was a dramatic story to me. So I feel like, leave me alone, you know. I was like, it took out and I tell the story. She's like, oh, I was like, yes, grandmother. She's like, I just want to tell you that, you know, I really like him, and I think that's the one. Point blank.
And that's period. And speak that shit into existence.
Okay, so I'm done. I'm gonna break it down to you guys like I said I would. I need to curve this edge, bro. So, number one, the main things you should do to make sure you're on the same page with your parents. You know, if you want to bring your boyfriend or your girlfriend home, pray to God pray to the Almighty, because I really wouldn't have done it if I just wanted to do it how I wanted to do it, or if I just had picked a random person. It was not gonna work out. Number one. Number two, be like, make sure you have that relationship with your parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you guys are on that level. Make sure you're old enough and they think the same. And just make sure you pick the right person. And you know when you're picking the bad person. You know when you're picking the wrong person. And you know if you're saying, oh, this is temporary, you know it's the wrong person. So just be aware of that. Yeah. And then just be sure, you know, that relationship is gonna get somewhere. Don't doubt, just be sure, because if you're gonna go to somebody's house, bring somebody home, and you're not even sure, like, you're gonna have your people wondering, like, are you serious? Because if you bring one person today and then bring another person the next day, like, you're gonna have your people like, are you serious? Like, do you really want us to take you seriously? Thank you guys for watching my video. Thank you guys for being a part of Being That Right Now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the love that you guys showed me on the last video. But thank you guys. I love you guys so much, because I know most of the people that support me don't even know me. Most of the people that repost my stuff don't even know me. The people that know me, the people that are my friends,